Welcome to Forward ReZero. It's a ReZero rewatch podcast with three friends. I'm Sarah.
I'm Morg.
I'm Neve. I forgot who goes second.
I didn't remember either. It's been too long.
Just fuck it, go for it.
YOLO.
Fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, we ball.
We're here with my son, Bertram.
My son.
Your son, Bertram?
Yeah, because it's been 5 years since we recorded.
Oh yeah, it's been 5 years. Yeah, it's been 5 years since we recorded. Jordan has died of old age in that time. So sad.
I have a bushy white beard to show that time has passed, and my boobs sag more.
I think there should be more wizards with really big bushy beards and fat saggy tits.
And no big naturals.
Yeah.
We already have the best one. Why do we need to gild that lily?
I gotta, this episode is making me get a drink out.
Oh, what you sipping?
What you sipping?
Sipping this weird, like, cider sangria. It's very sweet.
Ooh. I just got a big fucking 64-ounce bottle of water.
I got a funky monkey, actually.
I do have water next to me also.
Brass monkey?
No,
a funky monkey?
Yes. Yeah.
I have always thought of you as a little bit of a funky monkey junkie.
Yeah. Wow, that is the one Beastie Boys song where I don't know any lyrics besides the chorus.
Besides Brass Monkey, that funky monkey. God,
Intergalactic
I also don't know
Planetary.
anything. I also don't know anything else about that song. But at my work for a month, we had a drink that was like the Funky Monkey Latte, which was like 1 part banana, 2 parts, 1 part banana syrup, 2 parts like just mocha syrup.
Huh.
Every time someone ordered it, I just had that song stuck in my head for the rest of the day. B, really fucking good flavor combo, by the way. Highly recommend like an oat milk banana mocha latte, but make sure it is not equal parts banana and mocha because it will just taste entirely of banana if you do that.
Banana's strong. That's
Good
why
to know.
I would be like a little worried about putting banana in a drink like that.
Yeah.
This is the one I'm drinking now is like 3 parts pineapple, 2 parts banana, 2 parts rum, I think, and then 1 part Malibu.
Is this a beer?
No, it's a cocktail.
It's a cocktail.
Oh,
It
you
has
made a
rum
cocktail?
and
Yeah,
stuff
I'm
in it.
fancy. We had it for my mom's birthday last weekend.
Oh, happy belated birthday. I think I said happy birthday. Can I say happy birthday to your mom?
You can say it now if you like.
Okay, happy birthday, Neve's mom. I won't say your name on air. I don't know why I like protect your mom's name, like you're using your real name online or something.
No part of
Mrs. Neve Noel
Neve is my real name,
Williams.
but my legal name is not any part of what I say my name is online.
It's Neve Noel Williams. We know
Yep.
her. We love her.
My last name is actually Williams.
Happy
This is true. I've seen the birth certificate.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Williams. Ms. Williams? I don't know. But
Happy birthday, Miss Williams. Woo, I am for real. Sorry that I missed it last weekend. I did not. I got fucking. I got
Yeah.
nothing.
I don't normally drink for these, but this fucking episode was kind of a wild ride.
Yeah,
You're drinking
very.
that copium.
So yeah, we last recorded about 2.5 months ago, I think would have been. Mm-hmm. And
I had not yet found out I was pregnant with Bertram.
Yeah, we had not. Yeah, with Bertram. I'm looking forward to Bertram's name like dissolving over the course of this episode, and so like in an hour's time, we're just talking about your son Gumblo.
Well, she
My
did get
son, Jerry Berry.
Pregante, so...
She did get. Neve was all humor.
He was on you.
So yeah, it's been 2.5 months, and we last left our hero after just a 50-minute cringe compilation, just
Awful.
just wall to wall.
Awful.
But the
awful
thing,
man.
the thing they don't tell you is that there was more to his compilation.
Ugh, yeah, so...
Yeah, it turns out
that was...
he's not done yet making bad decisions.
This was one of those things where I was like... I'm gonna, like, not, like, look at the full episode or anything like that. And, like, I'm just gonna watch the whole thing. But, like, for the first part of the episode, I was like, how does this... I hope he stops posting cringe. I'm gonna, like, skim. And then I was like, oh. Wow, a lot happens in this, so I'm gonna stop reading. Actually,
he stopped posting cringe, and he also, at the same time, he stopped doing a lot of things simultaneously, such as
Living.
Circulating blood through his veins, breathing.
he stopped
bathing.
a lot of things.
He stopped washing his hands after going to the bathroom.
Cannot believe he did that.
Damn.
He gave him a hug with piss hands. So gross.
Pee-pee hands.
Yeah, so let's fucking get into this episode. I have reclaimed the reins from Morg. I took my stupidly in-depth notes.
Good, because I sure didn't.
totaling 234 lines in Notepad. So the episode opens with Subaru training with Wilhelm and just remembering the cringe that happened at the end of last episode. And Wilhelm just fucking washes him in a swipe.
He destroys him.
He's like, yeah. He's like, should we stop? And Subaru just remembers Amelia and starts crying.
No, we shouldn't stop. I need to fight you until I die.
Yeah.
This isn't a manifestation of anything.
Felix is watching from a window upstairs, and this is something that I mentioned last episode, which it is in very recent memory to me because I just edited it last night at time of recording. This is 2.5 months ago, so I will refresh your memory. But this is just him talking about how Julius basically fell on the grenade. He didn't fall on the grenade. He kind of fell on the grenade for Subaru there because something I mentioned last episode was that if a knight that was not named Julius Euculius had gotten in the ring with Subaru, they would not have used wooden swords.
They would have just killed him.
Yeah, he would have just fucking been killed outright. They were so fucking mad at him. And Julius actually gets in a little bit of trouble with the knights for what he did, which was basically going easy on Subaru.
Yeah, Reinhardt said he kind of fucking fucked up his reputation when he talks to Subaru later.
Yeah, he definitely did. This is he sort of betrayed his standing in the Knights. Not betrayed, but he went against his standing in the Knights to save Subaru's life, basically.
Yeah, he sacrificed a little bit of his reputation.
Yeah. And I really like this implication that he was just leaning into it and playing the villain to save Subaru's ass. I fucking love Julius.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't really pick up on this the first time around because
this is literally a blink and you miss it scene. It's not addressed later or anything. This is a 10-second scene maybe.
Right, but it starts the ball rolling on you, on the viewer realizing that Julius isn't the bad guy here.
No, but you can also sort of come to that conclusion yourself based on fucking Subaru sure was the bad guy there.
Right.
But I get what you mean though. This is, I honestly forgot this scene was in this episode. Because in the last episode I referred to it this as being something that only comes up in the light novel.
Wait,
but
that he falls on. Yeah.
The explicit obviously these same events happen in the anime and the light novel, but I did not even remember this scene being in here. I just had remember this was one of the things I'd filed away as this is a thing that my friend Roswell who knows who's read the light novels and knows this show back to front has told me as oh yeah, this is also happening in the world. There's a handful of things I've enumerated on here that are that.
Is your friend Roswell named after Roswell?
No, he is not.
Okay.
It is merely the most fortunate coincidence ever recorded.
Well, good for him.
In the history of fandom.
Shout out to Roswell. I think probably my oldest internet friend. I just bought a little ceramic tiger from him today.
Aww. Oh, I didn't know that was from him.
Yeah. Shouts out Roswell.
Awesome.
I wish I was in contact with my oldest internet friends still.
Me too.
I'm in contact with two or three from that era, and then the rest are. Listen, 17-year-old me had some rough people in their circles.
It'd be that.
I have to settle with reconnecting with people from my church who have transitioned.
Well, that went pretty well.
That went awesome. But
not to obliquely refer to your private life, but you did go on a hangout session with someone you hadn't seen in 10 years and who both of you had transitioned, and then you were yeah, let's go get our ears pierced. Then you got your septum pierced.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, we got time skip designs now. I've got an undercut and I've got a septum piercing. Maury has a mohawk.
Yeah.
The bags under my eyes are slightly darker to show that I'm more world weary.
Mine too. Every day.
I've
Every day I look more and more like Natsuki Subaru.
wearing-
I've incorporated a little bit of like a character who has dyed their design into my outfit.
It's also Pride Month, so I'm wearing a rainbow romper.
Ooh.
Happy Pride.
I'm still wearing my work clothes, which is like a Finger Lakes Coffee Roaster t-shirt and slacks. Girls love to wear their work outfit.
Girls love to
you know what?
podcast. in
Hold
their
on, I'm
work
gonna-
outfit. Are you gonna get
gotta do
changed
this.
right
I
now?
gotta No, I'm not changing. I'm just taking off my bra. Jesus.
Oh, you were gonna change on air.
I mean, I could. I just don't have any clothes in close. I could get naked, but I do not have any clothes in close enough proximity to like actually change my clothes.
You're doing hashtag relatable content.
Yeah, I am. I'm just like fucking taking my bra off in the middle of the podcasting. I hope someone out there is getting hot and heavy about this.
I'm taking my bra off as soon as I get home. Hashtag wine.
I am drinking a sangria cider. That's kind of wine related.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Subaru is like,
He's getting bad grades in sword fighting.
yeah, Felis is like, hey, this seems kind of bad, and Krush is like, well, it was a request from my guest. I don't really care. And Felis is like, well, I think he just wants to act like he's working hard in spite of everything that just happened to him. And then like we get a little shot of Reinhard just standing outside the gate, just chilling.
Don't at him. He's chilling.
He's chilling. And then we get the OP. Paradisum Paradoxus, I believe is what it's called.
I think
Something
this
like
is my
that.
favorite OP.
It's
of the
really
series.
good.
It's so good.
I like
It's the one that sticks out in my memory the most, for sure.
Like I know it's all drum machine, but like
I like Drum Machine
Fucking-
though.
I know like it's like fucking run through a wall drums.
Yeah.
God. And just like all the image, you're just like, they show the image of her leaving again, and I'm like, no, don't remind me of that. I already know.
The thing of like the carrion birds like circling like right at the beginning is really
Yeah. It's really good. I think the first time I saw this, I think I was really stoned, and I thought that the birds were going clockwise to like symbolize Subaru literally turning back the clock. I was like, "Fuck, that's so cool!" And then I watched it sober, and I was like, "Oh, they're just going clockwise."
Well, time ticks on inexorably.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah,
Man.
for him.
Yeah, the OP is really fucking good. There's a couple of really good bangers on the OST in this episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we get back from the OP, and Reinhardt's apologizing to Subaru, and Subaru's like, "Why are you apologizing? That was all my fuck up. All me, baby. That's a Subaru original." and Reinhardt is just, "Oh no, I should have stopped my friends from fighting. Oh, I fight for my friends, but my friends aren't supposed to fight."
Now it's Rhine time.
He was like, you're both my friends. I should have stopped
Yeah, Reinhardt-
you. And I'm like, no, he needed to get the shit kicked out of him in order to understand that he was putting a woman on a pedestal. This was fine.
Well-
Subaru was fine.
I mean, like, this is him, like,
I'm
this is
kidding.
Reinhardt both, like, yeah, no, I get what you mean. Sorry, yes, you're right. But, like, Reinhardt just is like, this duel had no meaning. What did either of you gain from that? And Subaru, like, really gets incensed that his duel had no
Yeah.
meaning, like, sunk cost fallacy brain firing in overdrive.
He was not happy about being told it has no meaning.
You didn't get any XP from it. You didn't like get any drops from it.
Right, you played a fucking, what was the thing in Fire Emblem Awakening where you could, like, buy it from the store and use it, and it would just, like, have a bandit encounter pop up on the map?
Oh yeah. It's like the reeking box or whatever it was.
Yeah, the reeking box. That's literally what, the stinky box.
The stinky square.
Yeah, no, he was not happy being told that it had no meaning, and I was like, Reinhardt kind of put his foot in his mouth, but yeah, Subaru was just kind of like, it's fine, and then he like kind of walks away from it, and he's like, mind your own fucking business, Jesus Christ.
Well, Reinhardt immediately implores Subaru, like, hey, I think you and Julius got off on the wrong foot. I recommend a calm, open discussion with him. I
that's
think
right,
that would
yeah.
really fix things. And Subaru's like, no, bye. Go home now. Go head home before your mistress gets lonely. And then he's like, mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
Mind your business, you fucker.
Getting it out of the way now that this is a really good dub episode. I'll touch on it more when we get to the stuff that specifically the dub does well, but
I'm excited.
this is a good one.
The Betelgeuse things?
Yeah. I'm thinking this is a good dub. They took the dub on this dub.
Damn.
Hell yeah. Sorry, I'm just curious why it is Betelgeuse instead of Betelgeuse or Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I thought it was
because Beetlejuice is copyrighted.
Wow. Yeah, why is Beetlejuice the same as the star, but it's spelled differently? Man. Whatever.
Much to think about. I wonder if there's like...
I actually
Betelgeuse.
thought when he was chanting Beetlejuice in the show, I was like, is he gonna pop up somewhere? Is this like a Beetlejuice situation where he shows up?
Like in Community when they say the name Beetlejuice like 3 times over the course of the first like 3 seasons, and then on the third utterance, like someone in a Beetlejuice costume in the background walks past.
Yeah, I was like, is that gonna happen? He does say it quite a few times.
Yeah. But anyways, so jumping back to where we were. So we're back to like training with Wilhelm, and Super gets his ass fucking cooked again, and he wakes up in Rem's lap. He asks her, don't you think I'm cringe, that I'm failed? Don't you think I'm small potatoes? I'm not important?
She says, yes, you are.
And yeah, she says, yes, you being pathetic and me staying with you is not contradictory. I want to stay with you, which is, this is a nice moment, and knowing where this art goes makes me just like fucking rubbing my fucking hands together about this shit.
Yeah. It's a nice moment.
What could possibly go wrong?
No, yeah. We find out that Super hasn't gone anywhere in 3 days, and
Stinky.
Rem is like, hey, tomorrow we should go to the town square, and they do. They go to the Appaman, and they're looking at the Smash Ultimate Spirit board, where Amelia and all the other Royal Selection candidates are posted up.
That's exactly what it is.
So we're looking at the board in any RPG where you get side quests.
Yeah, I'm immediately just rushing to the Priscilla side quest.
Yeah, the Priscilla side quest I only have to collect like 5 lizard tails, so like that'll be easy. I'll just go that route this playthrough.
Yeah.
Appaman.
Five peeled appas.
5 peeled appas. You gotta get the peeler, though. You gotta find the peeler, and that's like kind of a whole like side quest that takes forever. Ugh.
Yeah, it's like that. It's
I
like
just
that
use
one,
console
long,
commands for that. I have no shame about it.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's that long like sequence of trades that you have to do for that one quest in Majora's Mask.
Yes.
Like where you have to trade the one thing for the other, and like you have to get the letter and then trade the letter for something else. And
Yeah,
then...
you got to trade the Moon's Tear for the town title deed, and then that for the swamp title deed. I replayed Majora's Mask recently. From some snide comments your brother made last time I was over there. Last time I saw him, you play that game a lot. I'm told. Listen, it is my favorite game of all time.
We all have our games like that. That's Paper Mario Thousand Year Door for me. All right, like
I just think it's very funny that I just remember the interaction of Cormac asking you what you were playing and you saying, "Oh, Majora's Mask," and he said, "I don't know why I fucking bother asking."
Damn, owned. Demolished.
Shout out Cormac.
Shout out.
So yeah, the shopkeeper's there, the Appaman, and he is racist to half elves.
Well, to be fair, and I'm not saying that it's good or anything, but he is saying like the thing where it's like, I can't.
Hey, I'm just calling it like I sees it. People really don't like an elf in this community.
And he's unfortunately correct, which sucks.
You know, Bernie Sanders, he's unelectable.
A woman could never be elected president. No one would vote for her.
They're all women, but
yeah, exactly.
It's very misogynistic to post snake emojis.
fuck.
Anyways, yeah, the Appaman is half elf racist, and I'm returning my free sloppy.
No, thank you.
Oof, soft blocking him now. I just followed him for the sloppy. I had no idea he was racist.
The sloppy toppy Appleman has been milkshake ducked.
Tremendous sentence. So Super like really loudly stands up for Amelia in the town square, and he's like, "Oh, you just hate half elves because the witch was one?" And it's just it's that gif of the guy smelling. It's that gif of that like show where like the people were put in the dark and they had to smell things, and guess what they were, and the gif of the dude like sticking his nose in a dude's butt crack and be like, "Oh, smells like ass," and then like a voice chimes in from over that's like, "Correct."
Yeah. The Appa Man just does like the racist like Chad meme. He just goes like, "Yes."
Christ.
Someone draw the Appa Man as the racist.
Subaru is soy jacking at him.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, he just basically goes electoralism on him and is like, "Oh, she can't win as long as people see her that way." Subaru realizes that everyone is racist against her, and he gets really mad about her because he remembers the part from last episode where he was like, where Amelia was like, "Oh, Subaru, you never tell me any of your problems." And Subaru is just thinking to himself, "Well, she didn't tell me her problems either.
She barely knows you!" Sorry, I didn't mean to yell.
No, you're right.
She barely knows you! I'm always so upset about this. I understand, like, why would he remember that when he has all these memories of her? But it's still just like, come on, man. She's not gonna tell some weirdo that's like...
that, like, everyone is elf racist against her. And also, she does literally tell him that.
Oh,
like,
yeah!
In the first episode, she's like, well, people are not really kind to half-elves around here. And Subaru just, like, brushes it off and is like, oh, white hair, big boobie, oh.
You're too
we're really
pretty.
just running this campaign to raise awareness and, try and shift the issue leftward. We don't actually expect to win at this.
Please, someone pull that. Please, we need Old Man Rom to yank the Overton window leftward on this.
Yeah, we're just trying to see if we can get Priscilla to adopt some of our policy positions.
God,
Christ.
she would never.
No, she wouldn't.
There's other people you gotta go for who might.
Listen, we can push Priscilla left.
No, we can't!
Electoralism works.
No!
Elect Priscilla and then hold her accountable.
Felt or death!
If you vote in Priscilla, those $2,000 checks are going out the door.
Fuck.
Christ. I had that joke like floating around in my brain, but like I wanted to come up with a name that wasn't just Priscilla herself for it because like that was Biden Kim. I don't know. Sorry, not to get into the particulars of a joke that I didn't tell.
Where I'm from, we like stems. We like seeds.
I consider Appas peeled. So Subaru that night he stares out the window. Next day he gets washed again by Wilhelm, and then we go to night of that next day, and we see he's like going up the stairs to retire to his chambers for the night, and we see Krush in her little nightie.
She's cute.
She looks good.
Woman, I'm not immune to.
She's really cute.
Krush's dub voice, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't need to say much more beyond that.
She offers him a drink.
I do miss
and
her
he's
little
like, "Oh,
hat,
I can't."
though. That's the one thing. Like, I love that she's...
Yeah, she's missing the little hat.
I love that she's out of her, like, formal attire. Like, she's just chilling. But I'm like, the little hat.
She's going Banky
Where's
mode.
Please, the hat. She offers Subaru a drink, and he says, "Oh, I can't drink," which is like...
Yeah.
The way Subaru adheres to Earth Japan drinking rules in the Fantasyland is so fucking fun.
Subaru's saying like a teacher, you forgot to collect our homework.
It's genuinely a really endearing like character trait that he's like just clinging to some of these rules from the world from whence he came.
It reminds me that he is still like pretty young too.
Yeah, it also just reminds me of me because I was very much this child. Like I would not I wouldn't remind the teacher of homework, for example, but like, gotta obey the rule. I mean, I didn't drink till I was 20, I don't think.
Yeah,
I didn't make it all the way to 21, but...
I didn't drink until I was, like, 22. That was when I started drinking regularly.
Fucking Girl Scout over here. God damn.
Listen, I was such a cop child.
I was a cop child,
No,
too.
you and me both.
I was a cop child, too.
Yep.
Kind of weird.
Glad that we've all grown out of that.
For the most part, yes.
Yeah.
It still haunts me occasionally.
Mm-hmm. Crush asks about how his gait is healing, and we get a little cut in of Felis nuzzling his back while Rem holds him, which is just a cute little silly moment.
I was like, damn, dude.
Just, I sent the screen cap of that image to Neve last night as I was watching it, and she just replied, God, I wish that was
I
me.
almost said that in chat. I was like, what if that was me, though?
Yeah, and you said, like, no matter what, Subaru has to find a way to be the bottom in this situation.
Absolutely.
In a room with Felis and Rem, he still finds a way.
So true.
So she she mentions that like she's getting proposed to by a lot of guys, and he does a spit take about it after she says, "I'm sure other candidates are having that problem as well." But then he changes the subject to talk, ask like, "Hey, did you know Wilhelm had a wife? I heard his wife was epic." Krush also changed the subject back on him and has asked, "Do you know that Wilhelm serves me?" Felis walks in and accuses her of dressing slutty.
That's not what he says in the dub. He says, like, he accuses her of dressing vulnerably, which I liked because it implies that, like, she needs to be in, like, her combat fatigues.
That it, like...
It's like, if you're not wearing armor to see this man, you might as well be dead already.
He did say vulnerable. He did, like, you're dressing really vulnerably, and, like, she's like, I just dress the same way that I do with you, and he's like, yeah, exactly, men suck. And Subaru's
Men
like,
are wolves.
You see how limp my wrist goes? I'm not a threat to you.
God.
Felis can, like, hyperextend his wrist for that reason. I mean, also because he's a cat boy. I'm sure he can hyperextend his wrist for plenty of reasons.
Yeah, he's got them Sakusa wrists.
Oh, yeah, he's got the Kiyomi wrists.
Kiyomi. Yeah.
Kiyomi, sorry, yes. It is pronounced Kiyomi.
Shoutouts to K.
Shout out to Sakusa Kiyomi to me.
True.
Felis, Krush also brushes this aside by saying, well, it's pretty, anyone who's at the Royal Selection knows who Subaru loves. I think it's pretty clear.
I'm fine.
This man is down bad. He's not going to try anything.
Yeah. Felis mentions that he heard that they had a fight and does a little three-face when Subaru is like, tugging collar.
Yeah, fight's one way to put it.
Yeah.
I got demolished. She hates me.
Yeah.
Not really, but...
Yeah. She hit me with the fucking stone cold stunner.
Yeah.
She just, like, Krush just tells him to, like, keep his head up, don't lose sight of your reason to live, do what you know is right, things of this nature, and she sends him off with the words, I do not want to regard you as an insignificant enemy, which is, like, I really like the way that Krush shows that she cares.
Yeah, and this is
like,
going to come up later.
Like, she can only view it in, like, a tete-a-tete scenario, but she very clearly is extending, like, a hand to Subaru here that is, like...
In the way that she knows how.
Yeah. I like Krush a lot. She's a great...
good.
I find her a character that is developed very,
Subtly?
Subtly, yes, but I also think that, like, they do just a lot with what relatively little real screen time she gets.
Right.
Like, compared to the other members of the Royal Selection, not counting Amelia, she definitely gets the most screen time out of them, I believe.
Makes sense.
But even that said, they do a lot of, like, they cram a lot of character work into not a lot of time, and I think it's really good. I fucking love Krush.
Yeah.
She doesn't know exactly, like, how to be like, cheer up, fucker.
And, yeah. Felis also encourages him to make up with Amelia as soon as possible, and at this, Subaru remembers dying, and all the time, a bunch of times that he's dying, he's like, oh, there is something I can do. Something only I can do.
I was like, no, don't think like that, first of all, because even if you can die a lot, in this episode, and this little, like, mini arc, I guess, for Subaru starts and ends in this episode where he starts to review Return by Death in a really unhealthy light, where he's talking about how after the next day, he's fighting with Wilhelm, and is actually holding up pretty decently this time. Like, he's not just getting absolutely fucking mollywopped.
and he's just thinking about RBD in a way, Return by Death in a way that's like, I can just make any problem and go away. Oh, grr.
Also, Willem's, like, makes a point of, like, oh, you don't want to learn anymore? Like, he can kind of tell that, like, Subaru doesn't actually want to do this like, he doesn't know that he's thinking of, like, how he can just die again and again, but he does, like, recognize that he isn't trying to, like, defend himself the same way.
Right.
It's gotten to the point where Subaru's more trying to game the system than trying to improve, is how I read it.
Right. He's safe scumming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's stalling. He's using Toxapex.
He's just shine floating down. He's taking his sweet fucking time.
Yeah.
Peach players, when their parasol doesn't reach ledge, but they just let themselves fall slowly to the blast zone.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wilhelm calls off the training, and at this point, Rem calls him and it's like, "Hey, we need to talk." And she felt something from Rem, something bad from the Roswell estate, some troubling movement in the vicinity of his mansion. And this is apparently inevitable once Roswell back to half-elf, because the world is so racist that him backing a half-elf means that there are going to be militia groups sent to his location.
So fucked up. Although it's not even, like, what they
Navy
expect.
SEALs are converging on his house.
30 to 50 feral finger hogs.
Federal agents are outside his house.
The Subaru is like, oh, fuck, the moment that I leave her side, this happens? Oh, the only one who can help her is
Shut
me.
up.
Well, we gotta go help
hate
this.
him.
And it's just...
I want to kill him. And it's fine, because he'll come back, so I don't actually mean it.
The way Subaru, like, really... I feel like Subaru has a really tremendous, like, fall from grace in both the last episode we did and this one. And I think it's really well done. I guess I just remain impressed that they let a protagonist, that Tappe had as protagonist, like, do this.
Yeah.
Like, this is such a fucking scuzzy arc for Subaru. He is in a bad place mentally, but he's making some fucking shitty ass decisions as a person.
Well, just, like, deciding that he's the only one that can help, too. Like...
Right, her only savior.
That's
it's almost as if, he's in a story about some shithead otaku who thinks he can run a whole situation because he knows genre tropes, and maybe it just sort of turns that sort of thing on its head.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think that sounds like something a good show would do, and this is the fan service made show. So
I mean, this is a show that, like, if you didn't know going in, you might think that, you might be like, oh, he really does think that, and it's like, well, he does think that, and the show punishes him for it.
Yeah, the show tells you that he is wrong in the most certain terms possible.
They kill him.
Right. Yeah,
You're
a
dead.
lot. They kill him a lot.
You're dead, son.
But so Subaru is just wanting to go help Amelia, and Rem tells him, "No, you should stay here. Focus on your healing. Obey Amelia's orders." And they get into a bit of a squabble, and then Cruz just silences them and is like, "If you leave here, you will become my enemy." Because Subaru's presence there and his healing at the hands of Felis was just done by contract with Amelia. Yeah. And once Subaru leaves, the protection is up, and it is fucking on site for Cruz and Amelia. She will not fucking hesitate.
I was gonna say, I was like, what, are you gonna blow Amelia's fucking head off? What the fuck?
Cruz has got, like, 2 dodgeballs in her shirt going, I won't hesitate, bitch!
Jesus Christ.
Little fucking airsoft gun.
Yeah.
It's nerf for nothing, Amelia.
Subaru gets fucking mad at this, like, indignant, and there are so many things in this episode that Subaru does that I fucking hate him to do, that I also love from a story perspective. Him, like, just fucking snapping here and be like, I thought you were nice, and you liked me. I was stupid to listen to you, actually. You don't want me to leave because saving Amelia will be trouble for you, don't you? And he just is seeing... anything trying to stop him from seeing Amelia is inherently a malicious actor, no matter what it is, and it's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's like other people having, like, their own goals, and, like, agents saying he's mad at them for it.
Right. What was that, Morg?
I mean, this comes up later, so we can just get to that for, like, when Rem leaves and stuff. But yeah, like...
Felix attempts one last ditch effort before Subaru walks out and just basically tells him, if you leave, nothing will change. Reads him the riot act and just says, please, just say. And we get this really fun shot that's like right behind Subaru as Felix is finishing his little speech, where the camera is just shaking right before Subaru just like snaps and decides to go back to Amelia.
Yeah, I actually noticed that for once. I was like, oh my god, Subaru is like shaking in rage, so the fucking camera is. He's like, I don't want to fucking hear it. It's good.
Felix, or I don't remember, is it Felix or Crush who hits him with, is it not true that a good man knows how to take a warning on the way out?
Oh, I'm not sure who says that.
One of them hits him with that, and he's like, actually, your warning is telling me why I need to go there. Thanks, bye. Subaru and Rem hop in the little carriage and they head off, and it's going to take them longer to get there than it did for them to return because the white whale made a big stinky fart cloud on the route they came in on.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is the white whale? Will I learn more about this later? And why will it kill me?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
To circle back for a second, Subaru said, go ahead, keep screaming, shut the fuck up at me. It only makes my opinions worse.
That basically is what he does this episode.
That's what he does! Until he gets fucking destroyed. Mentally. I really wish Hakuge came up. Hakuge the White Whale came up again in this episode, because it's like, I want to talk more about how this little like tidbit is. Oh god, there's something in the next episode. Oh, that's just so good. Yeah, it's fucking weird. Like, it's just a one-off thing. Like, for me now, who hasn't seen the rest of the show, it's like, what the fuck?
Actually, this is not the first time the white whale has been mentioned.
Oh, is it not?
But the first one is very missable because the first one is like
fleeting.
What's that?
It's fleeting. It's not like a detail you'd know.
Yeah, Felt and Rom's password for Rom's loot house. It mentions the white whale and the something rabbit and the black serpent. Is that the third thing?
Yeah, something like that.
Shit.
But it mentions the white whale. Mentions Hakuge.
Hakuge.
Haku. Hakuge is short for white gay.
Oh, that's me?
Just throw a race in there and Ellen will be tripping over herself to give you money.
Fuck.
I wish Ellen would trip over herself to give me money. Ellen DeGeneres' show ended.
Yeah, she died.
Did y'all see that video of Ellen DeGeneres like tricking a bunch of people to donate to like giving her $1,000?
No.
I didn't see the video, but I heard the description.
Yeah,
of it.
I heard about it. I didn't see the video.
She auctioned off she auctioned off like a bag that she didn't end up giving away and just fucking pushed a bunch of people's money and was like, okay, you're all donating $1,000, right?
She auctioned off the kid from the Ellen DeGeneres video.
Oh my god,
so fucking funny.
Someone posted like an article about that. Like, and it's not like people can be, it's like hard to be like, no, I'm not going to donate this money at this point, because
right because
you're like, oh, you're not going to donate it? Wow, kind of fucked up of you not to want to be a philanthropist. But yeah, so they have to
Subaru and Rem set off, and Subaru is just thinking as they head off with this ominous yellow sunset, like it's just. So, like, there are the way that the show builds, like, such ominous lighting, like, such ominous looking skies is so phenomenal. Like, and they just use there are other sunsets in this show that look this color that have, like, a light of hope to them. And there is just such a dour mood to this sunset.
Yeah.
And Subaru is just thinking, I can save her. Once I do, she'll understand. She must.
I can fix her.
Subaru wakes up, Subaru wakes up when the ground dragon has stopped because the ground dragon ran out of gas, and it's like frothing. It's tired, needs a nap.
Little guy.
It's like in Super Mario Sunshine when Yoshi runs out of juice. It just turns into a fog of like colorful bubbles.
Yeah, they need to rest for the night, so they have they stay in a little.
Rem needs to find a pineapple to give to the new Yoshi egg. That sort of thing.
Yeah. So they go to a little like inn, and Subaru can't sleep, and Rem walks in a little bit in a cute little nightie. She can't sleep. She just wants to talk.
So
And
she's
Subaru looks
funny.
like shit here.
This occurred to me watching it. Like, Subaru's just sleeping in his tracksuit like he always does, and Rem, like, bothered to pack pajamas.
Yeah, this
I don't think does Subaru own other clothes besides the
I don't,
butler suit
like-
and the tracksuit?
But, like, you'd think he'd at least have, like, picked something else up. He's just, like, he's spent all day in those clothes.
this dude isn't even gonna like take his pants off and wear boxers. He's just wearing like the whole tracksuit. Like,
God.
Yeah. But Subaru and Rem just talk a little bit, and he's blustering about, when I get back there, I'll fix things. He loves to tell girls on things that he cannot follow up on in this timeline. He loves to make promises
sure does.
that he knows that he will have to die a couple of times to keep.
I slaughtered them like animals. Not only the men, but the women and children, too.
Well, that's what Betelgeuse did.
That's what Anakin did.
That also, yeah.
Stupid.
Subaru, Rem gives Subaru a cute little smile, and he blushes and turns away, and she leans on his back and does the magic thing that we saw Phyllis doing in the cutaway, where she's just healing his gait a little bit.
yeah.
And Subaru says, damn, Amelia's going to be pretty angry at me at first, huh? And Rem responds that, if you take the time to properly face her and communicate how
He
you
won't.
feel, I'm sure she'll understand. She calls him a wonderful person, and Subaru responds, I am? Yeah, I am. Amelia is hopeless without me, because I care about you.
Yeah, he falls the fuck to sleep, and like it's implied that Rem did something with when she was like healing his gait, because she was saying like, leave that for me, like leave.
Yeah, save a little bit of that for me, too.
Yeah, as like
Yeah.
he was falling asleep, and he,
There's a little bit of a parallel here to the start of the season, which I guess would have been last episode, where, like, the last thing she says before it fades out and cuts to the next morning is her saying, don't go anywhere, okay, Subaru?
Yeah.
And bit of a parallel for Amelia instructing him to do the same.
kind of a parallel
yeah.
with him laying on her legs too, like he did to Amelia.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. He wakes up in a start, and the next morning he wakes up in the start and is like, oh, fuck, no, we overslept. But Rem is already gone by then.
you
Rem has left
overslept.
overnight.
He's home
And-
alone.
Yeah.
He's so mad.
he gets-
He is threatening.
Grabs the inn
Yeah.
manager by the
Yeah,
collar.
he's threatening the Inman. And eventually, like he gets his stuff, but like there's a letter with it, like from Rem, and he like opens it, and he like is just like, you can see like in his eyes, he's like, no, and like kind of cripples the edges a little bit because he's gripping it so hard, and then we hear like
Yeah.
the over. We hear like her voiceover.
Yeah, the letter's basically, sorry, dude, I can't bring you to the mansion. It would be dangerous. And there's another parallel, well, not a parallel, I guess themes maybe, I'm not sure.
The show has themes.
Subaru mentions-
Damn.
Subaru grips the letter like fucking Arthur getting ready to punch DW and says to himself something along the lines of, I thought you would understand me, remembering Amelia like saying, the woman in your head understands you perfectly. And like, it's that. He literally just he transplanted his desire for a wife who understands him perfectly onto her.
Yeah.
Like-
and it's not even like, it sucks because like he doesn't even fully focus on her either. Like, because he's still like thinking about Amelia. Like, not that I think he should, but it's like, damn. She's just like some, I don't know, some second choice.
It's kind of like that bit in towards the end of Evangelion where like Asuka tells Shinji like, no, you're only reaching out to me because like reaching out to anyone else would be too inconvenient at this point.
Yeah, fuck. The convenience of Rem that's sad. But
Yeah, it's his backup option. He's like, oh, girl here, girl, love girl.
But it's also
Not that he doesn't have an emotional connection with
Yeah.
Rem, but like he's very clearly just like turning to her as a backup, basically.
Yeah, which I wonder if that will be discussed further moving forward.
oh no.
I'm eating cereal and saying no, it won't.
Oh no.
Food for thought. Anyway,
That's worrying. I mean, Not surprising, but worrying. Because of how this episode... yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter.
While the voiceover of Rem's letter is happening, we see Subaru like running around town trying to find someone who will ship him to wherever the fuck he wants to go. And he gets to Otto, our fucking boy Otto, my perfect fucking son.
I assume he comes up later.
Just like a normal guy with gray hair and a funny green outfit.
He's
not
this
important.
boy. I love this guy so. I'm sorry. I'm showing my hand by showing that he is an importance character, but I mean,
you can kind of tell.
No, he's small potatoes. He's not important, and he never will be.
You can kind of tell he's important, not just because of like the white hair or anything, but more just because he we actually hear inside his head, and that doesn't really happen with like side characters where like we get like glimpses of like how he's feeling and how like, wow, I've gotten into trouble by like helping the Subaru guy out, fucked up, and like you don't really get that with side characters so much. Even if he was just like you can't really just brush that off as like, oh, he's just a funny fantasy guy who looks like that.
Yeah. I'm so excited to get more Otto. Like he has a couple of moments in this season, but his season 2 stuff is so fucking good.
Oh, I wanted to say also like when we were talking about like bad actors, like Subaru assuming people are bad actors and stuff, he even is like, I was saying he even like assumes like Rem's being a bad actor because he's like,
right, he's like, oh, you also think I'm a useless good for nothing,
and it's like,
you think I'm a piece of shit?
No, she wants to protect you, asshole.
If you don't trust me, then why should I depend on you? Is the thing that he says as like, we get another phenomenal like awful malicious sky that is just like, we fade out on this blood red sky as Otto and Subaru go into the forest deeper. Subaru passes out and then wakes up to Otto's ground dragon slamming on the brakes outside of Roswell Manor. Well, not outside of Roswell Manor, outside of like the Roswell
outside
estate?
of Harlem.
Yeah, it's not the village. Like before the
it's
village.
like just outside of the village.
It takes him like a full day. It takes him like more or less a full day of walking to get to Roswell Manor, right? From where they are,
something like that.
Or like a full.
It takes him a while for sure.
He is tired afterwards,
but
for sure.
Garchomp is really freaked out, and Subaru's like, all right, you take all my money and also all my stuff. I'll go the rest of the way on foot. Otto tries to stop him, and Subaru's just, no, bro, I gotta get in here myself.
I gotta!
And Subaru, like, he gets a bit deeper into the woods, and it's just, like, dead silent. And
creepy.
Suddenly, Subaru's face-to-face with a guy. Just kidding, there's 20 guys. They're all wearing hoods, and they bow to him, and then they disappear.
They all circle him and then disappear, and it's like, you might recognize, like, it's okay if you don't, because they definitely make it clear later, but, like, you might recognize them as these hooded beings that attacked the village of Rem and Ram.
Yeah, they're the
Rem
IRS.
and Ram's little village. Sorry?
They're the IRS.
You might recognize them as the IRS trying to steal his...
Yeah, they're here to make the village pay their back taxes.
God.
What am I missing here? What's the...
Because, they're people from the government who's like, you did like bad financial stuff.
The IRS is coming to kill you.
Yeah.
The IRS is
okay. I just
after your ass.
Sorry, I just kind of assumed there was something referential I was missing out on.
No, that
That's what the IRS does send contract like does contract killers out to people. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That is what they do.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm an ANCAP. I know exactly what they do and how they've wronged me.
So Subaru continues forward and makes it to the village, but on the way Subaru, like, he keeps walking and remembers all the people who tried to steer him away from this. Like, he remembers Felis and Krush and Amelia and Day breaks on his way, and there is a fucking huge plume of smoke coming from the city as soon as he reaches a place where he can see the town, the little village. And I love the way the scene is composed. So the way that the scene happens is Super like walks into the village and he opens a door to someone's house and we see someone someone sitting at a table just from the back. It's like the house is dark. You can't see inside of it. You can barely see the silhouette of this person sitting at the table. And like you see like a dagger sticking up from the ground. But where the dagger is actually, you just see like the bottom half of the dagger as though it's like stuck in something, and like you just see a handful of things. You like Super tries to open another door, and it's just like it's something is holding it shut, And then after like a 30 or so seconds of that, Subaru steps backward and trips over a corpse, gets his hands covered in blood, and then like we get little flashes back of like the guy sitting at the table in the house was dead. There was a corpse blocking the door. The dagger was sticking out of like a child. I just think it's really a really cool composed scene.
Yeah, it's well done.
Yeah, it feels like he didn't register fully what he was seeing in the houses until he like tripped over.
Fucking banger track. Yeah. Banger track, and also this is a real great reminder of like, hey, I hope you've been enjoying the Royal Selection. Remember when this show used to be about horror?
Remember when the show was about people dying a lot? Well, here you go.
Remember when the show was about people exploding into sprays of blood?
Here you go. Everyone's
hope you love
it. Dead.
And he's like, oh, Rem, what happened to Rem? And he stumbles towards Roswell Manor, and the manor, as soon as he finds it, like the manor is bathed in like, the only way I can describe the light that it's bathed in is like Amelia-esque. It's like, in terms of color.
It's like really weird because it's very much daytime. And because he's out of the forest, it's very clear how much daytime it is. And there's just a dead Rem corpse on the lawn.
Yep. And then we get the voiceover of the last part of Rem's letter. It's the, please wait here for me to return. I'll come back for you. Please take care of yourself. Please wait for my return. Please. From your Rem. And yeah, we get Rem's corpse. And that's that first episode. The sickness called despair.
I'm despairing.
It's pretty sickening, not gonna lie.
Pretty gross.
Good God, what a fucking good episode.
Oh God. It's just also
I'm sure the next one will be like much more normal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we hear like as it cuts to the title card, we hear like the sound continuing. We just get like some little like shallow sobs from Subaru, just still processing dead Rem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we cut back from the title card, and there's a bunch of witch cultists who got absolutely sawed in half by Rem before they took her out. We also see that all the kids in the village have been assembled into a corpse pile, like the end of Inside. And this makes Subaru puke.
All but one, because one is with Ram.
Yep. Yeah, we'll get to that. Subaru remembers what he said about early in the episode. Be like, oh, I can make any problem disappear. And he's like, no, I didn't want this. Not like this. Oh, the consequences of my actions. No.
Him sewing.
Me sewing. Haha, yes. Me reaping. Fuck. No.
Me reaping.
Sobs. It's actually very, like, tough to look at, but like looking back, I'm just like, ha 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 ha, fuck you.
Yeah, I've seen these episodes like 4 or 5 times now. And, like this scene still fucking hits. Like,
yeah.
I think anytime something engages with like loops like this, it has to first of all like the most important thing is to make it so it does not trivialize the deaths of non-looping characters. Which, like, I feel like can happen in a poorly told story where it's just like, oh, that character, they die, but it doesn't matter because they'll, you know, when we die, they'll come back. And I think the show does that, but I think it also does the other important thing, which is, like, I'm seeing these characters die multiple times through one iteration, and I've seen the show a couple of times now, and it is still really emotionally affecting every single time one of them bites it like that.
That's what, I think that was one thing I was, like, a little worried about. I was like, okay, well, obviously this dude can come back, but, like, how cheap is life gonna be because of that? And, like,
it's not.
Really not? And, like,
Subaru is one of the most emotionally traumatized characters in fiction, I think.
Yeah,
probably.
It's like it's a rare anime that like actually grapples with the consequences of like, oh, if you come back when you die, you still have the trauma of dying.
I feel like that's...
It's like they're not just wishing him back with the Dragon Balls after he goes down Snake Way to train with King Kai.
Yeah. But
God,
it's also like you have to do it all over again, you know, and you have to like see if you can prevent it, if it's possible. If it's not, is there something I can do next time? Like that's
But yeah, he's like dejectedly wandering around the manor, just being like, someone, and I don't know. I still am. I don't know. What is your take on this? Is he just like looking for someone to be there, or is he looking for someone to just fucking kill him?
I was thinking that he was looking to see if someone was like alive still, whether that is alive to talk to or to kill him. it's like he's just looking for anyone here who is not a bloody corpse.
The thing is, that is true. I think that I might be putting too much into the word choice they used in the translation, but I think if that would be more of an anyone to me than someone. Like, I don't know. To me, this scene, I think, straddles... To me, this seems a little bit like him wishing he was dead and wishing someone would just fucking kill him.
I'm actually curious about, like, if there's any, like, implication there in the dub with that. If that's anything that you could even read into that.
I didn't really catch, like, anything more definitive than that. But, like, I don't know. I just sort of, like, broadly read it as him, like, looking for closure of some kind. Whether that was, like...
Of, like, like, what happened? Who did this?
Yeah.
What...
Why is this senseless violence happening? Is kind of...
Yeah.
And also, can I
restart?
Can anything happen that isn't just me looking at all these people dead that I care about?
Yeah.
So, he finds his way into the Dead Silent Manor, and everything is spotless and empty, and he finds Ram and Petra dead in an embrace, because Ram died protecting Petra, and then Petra died anyways, because her eyes got really fucked up. And the first thing Subaru says when he sees these two corpses is, "Oh, it's not my fault."
I was like, no one thought it was.
Quote from a guy who definitely 100% thinks that it is his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and don't get me wrong, Subaru is worthy of blame for a lot of things, but the massacre at Roswell Manor, I'm pretty sure he's in the clear on this one.
The only thing, and, like, I don't even know if you can actually claim this, but the only thing he might be able, if he needs, like, something like that to, like, be...
Cling to
point to, is, like, maybe that Rem also got caught up in it. Obviously, that doesn't end up being true later when he cycles again, but he could maybe be like, well, if I didn't do all this, then at least she would be alive. And it's like, well, okay, but everyone else is dead. But, like, people are gonna find... He's gotta blame himself because he doesn't have anyone else to blame.
It's the sign of a guilty mind.
He doesn't have anything else.
He's not saying it's not... There's no one he's saying it's not my fault to. He's saying it to himself. Like, he is just, like... And I believe it is not his fault. I believe it's not his fault. I don't think he believes it's not his fault, which I think is a really good little moment. God, fucking... I fucking hate Subaru in these episodes. I fucking love Subaru in these episodes.
Psychoanalytical here, but it feels a little bit like a transposition of, like, him knowing that the path he has led thus far is wrong, and, like, just sort of, like, transposing that guilt onto this particular thing.
Yeah. It's so fucking good. But yeah, he's wandering around the manor and he sees Amelia's little flower from the girl in the first episode, and also finds her hair flower, and he follows, like, a trail of blood to, like, a hidden bookcase. He pulls on a wall sconce and the bookcase revolves and sends him into the he starts shivering, which I didn't notice the first, like, 4 times I watched this episode. Sorry. He finds, like, a hidden passage behind a bookcase. He does not pull on a wall sconce. I just want to be clear about what is and is not, because that just sounded like that entire thing sounded like a joke a little bit.
The degree of Scooby-Doo that's going on here.
Yeah, it's a bit Scooby-Doo.
Secret lab where he finds the controls that have been guiding the monster thus far.
Yep, he sees a little Shiba Inu in charge of it.
Yeah, a thought occurs to him and he has to go on Reddit to post Scooby-Doo taught us that people are the real monsters.
Scrappy-Doo says scro, typical anime fare.
Mm-hmm. When you said Shiba Inu, I thought you were referencing Undertale.
Wait, is there a Shiba Inu that controls everything in Undertale?
No, I was thinking of Toby Fox's little, like, doggy.
Okay. No, I'm referencing one of the joke endings of Silent Hill 2.
I was referencing Scooby-Doo 2002 film.
I knew that. I got that part, at least.
What? Wait. Was there just a Scooby-Doo? Oh, you were referencing live-action Scooby-Doo movies. I was thinking,
with Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, I was trying to think what fucking animated Scooby-Doo movie was just called Scooby-Doo? Because the first animated movie was Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, if I remember correctly.
Was that the first movie?
It was one of the first.
I know it was pretty
some
early,
of the first,
I never found out what was up with that one, because like, that one scared me, because
I think zombies were just real.
Yeah, because, like, the commercial said, like, zombies are real, and I think, like, I was like 7 or 6 years old at the time, and I think I threw up, and then my parents were like, "Okay, you're not watching this anymore."
Yeah, they were just real. That's just a thing.
That's so cute.
What?
I'm sorry.
I thought you were calling the
Baby
zombies
Neve.
cute.
No, just baby Neve puking from a commercial. And just be like, okay, no, not for you, honey. Not for you,
We
sweetie.
got like 5 minutes into the movie, and then like it was unrelated to anything else, but like I had upset stomach a little bit. I was huge in Scooby-Doo back then.
Big. You were a big do head, as the people in the forums call you.
I remember getting like glow-in-the-dark crayons in a Scooby-Doo coloring book for Christmas that year,
yeah.
and like
I
I just
actually-
flipped out about that.
I wore the fucking Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase VHS we stole from a mom and pop VHS store. Like, I wore that tape out.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the one I've
we
seen
also
the most,
we also
is the Cyber Chase one.
other VHS tapes that we took that we never returned to that mom and pop VHS store included a Bill Nye episode, a Bill Nye tape, which I believe was about inertia or something like that, and MVP2 Most Vertical Primate.
Let's go! Not even
The sequel to MVP Most Valuable Primate, the movie about the monkey that can play
Yeah, it was
hockey.
like not even the
I
first
feel like
one.
I'm watching Disney Channel commercials in like 2002.
Yeah. Next, we're gonna see a commercial for the 13th year. No.
Ooh, Luck of the Irish is on in about an hour. Y'all want to stick around for
yeah.
that? So Subaru goes into the Scooby-Doo hall, and this always confused me because it's like this glowing. It's like made out of a glowing blue stone, and later in season 2 we see another place that is made out of like similar but not quite the same materials, right, Neve?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I can't tell if this is just supposed to be, like, really fucking cold, or if it's, like, this is, like, just luminescent hallway, or I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this.
It's definitely cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, at the very least, yeah. But, like, I don't know if this is supposed to, like, I don't know if this is supposed to, like, represent how cold it is, or if it's just, like, you know, luminescent magic lighting this hallway, which, honestly, now that I say it out loud, that's probably what it is, because the scene is very brightly lit.
It's the frozen cellar where I keep my treats.
What treats does Roswell keep in his frozen cellar?
Roswell is absolutely going up to the ice cream truck. Can I have 4 or 5 more of these little blonde bitches?
I was like, unfortunately, the first thing I thought of was ice cold dildo, but you know, it's fine.
What the fuck?
I don't know why that's the first thing I thought of. I'm very uncomfortable with that being.
Is that a thing?
I'm sure someone has tried to make a dildo out of ice. Yes, I'm sure that has happened. I don't know how successful.
Someone's like,
Neve,
I can't get off of this unless it's like freezing cold.
Okay, so you're not so.
I want my pussy stuck
you're
to
not
this
familiar
like that
with-
scene in the Christmas Story.
You're not familiar with the phenomenon of people putting an ice cube up their ass and letting it melt for sexual pleasure.
That's a different
That's
thing, though.
different.
That's so
That's-
much less mass.
Yeah, it's smaller. It's a lot smaller. It will melt
Well,
a lot
it's
faster.
not like your partner's going like, I triple dog dare ya, and then you put the frozen pole in your schnooze. And then like a teacher has to come and help you get it out.
God.
Oh,
God. Anyway, I like.
so speaking of frozen horrors that await us, Subaru tries to grab the door handle that's on the other end of this corridor after he walks through it, and his hand hurts. Oh, oof, ouch, the frostbite! But the frostbite bit his fingers clean off because he opens his hands and there is he is missing 3 fingers.
He's
just
fully Davos.
detached.
It took me a
Yep.
second to realize what happened. I was like, oh, his fingers are stuck to the door still.
Oh,
His luck! Oh no, his luck! It's on the door.
I was just about to say that.
But this next scene, this fucks me up so bad. He stumbles backwards and falls over, but like there's a crack sound, and then it reveals that like his leg just froze at the knee and just like split.
Yeah.
Like his leg just came
Yeah.
off. His leg from the knee down just
And he's
came
like-
off.
I've had days like that.
And he's like staring up at one of the cultists that got like super frozen, and he just gets like frozen like that.
Yeah, like we see like Subaru like looks up and it cuts to a shot of a frozen cultist, and then it cuts back to Subaru, who is like just encased in ice and is not moving anymore. He's dead.
His face
and we hear a voice.
He's frozen out there, and we're out here.
And now he's the sheriff, and and he's too late. Because a voice comes over and says, "You're too late," and a chunk of his face falls off.
Up.
Morg, did you pick up who this was? The thing whoever was responsible for this freezing moment?
Did I pick up on it?
Did you? Yeah. Did you? This is a known entity. I guess I might be revealing too much. I might be revealing
I like
something.
vaguely remember maybe like part of Amelia and Puck's like pact or something, having to do with like how if she gets like protected or something, it like makes everything super cold. Like I don't know. I might be making this up. I don't know.
that gif of the guy smelling an ass again. Correct.
Yeah, I was like, I think Puck did this, but I don't know. Like,
yeah, this is it's a quasi reveal later in the season, but also you can sleuth it out if you're doing as close a watch as we are. And
if you've seen it before, and like I don't
that
know
as well, yes.
But I haven't, right?
I will be honest. Like watching it for the second time today, I was like, okay, this is super obvious. But yeah, I didn't know if that was just because I'd seen it before.
The reason I
mean, the thing that makes it super obvious is very much like Puck referring to his daughter. Like, who else has referred to daughter? Like, he has referred to Amelia as his daughter prior, right?
That's right. Puck's playing child support.
But yeah, Puck made Roswell Manor into Freeze Easy Peak.
Wait, is that him at the end too?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I thought it was a dog. No,
it doesn't really look much like a cat. No. To be fair to you, it does not look like a cat.
What is this giant wolf at the end talking about?
They could have made it look a little. Maybe they wanted to keep it under their hat. I understand, and making it just like too much like a cat is way too obvious.
Oh my god!
But yeah, it doesn't look very much like a cat. Is the thing?
That's why I was so like tentative in the back, because I was like, yes, I remember vaguely them talking about like the pact and how like Puck reacts to like protecting Amelia and everything like that, but I would have only clocked that for this first one, and then the second one with the giant, what I thought was a dog, I was like, oh, this is just like something with the witch, maybe. I don't know. Fuck me. The witch is talking to me and is a big dog now, and calling someone their daughter. I don't know. I was so confused.
Yeah, I'm almost certain it's the same voice actor. It's just hard to tell because like they do a very like playful voice for regular Puck, and this is a very like somber like like this is I guess going into stuff that Frozen Bonds would cover, but like this is like I actually won't go into that. That's showing too much I think to talk about that. But yeah, it's fucking it's Puck. Puck did Freezy. Puck made Freeze Easy Peak.
No, that's like extremely like makes total sense, and like I just didn't know.
Yeah, Super freezes to death, and we just hear.
I just didn't know that the second
Don't
time
talk
was
to me or
also
my
Puck.
son ever again.
Yeah. Same guy. You thought it was two different freezing instances?
No, I know that doesn't really make sense.
Sorry. That sounded really mean. I've definitely had similar thoughts like that, where I just like come to one conclusion and then come to a different conclusion and never connect the dots that like the two conclusions are possibly related.
It was such an extreme version in the second loop that I wasn't sure if it was like related or not.
Right, because this all happening in the corridor does make it seem localized,
exactly.
right? This does make it seem like this is only happening in here. The Super is being frozen to death, and all the cultists are frozen in here, and they're the sheriff.
Exactly. This is a lot more localized looking.
Yeah, localized
Localized entirely within Roswell Manor.
Localized entirely in your secret case. May I see it?
Yes.
Yes,
Sleep.
but you will die.
Sleep with my daughter. Subaru wakes up after like a whole fucking chunk of his face comes off. Subaru wakes up. Reset. Returned by death. We're back at the Appa stand. This is just after Subaru returned his free sloppy from the Appa Man's racism.
He got it for store credit.
Loves to just his return by death loves to just drop him off at the Appa stand, huh?
It's really funny.
It's like, here you go.
I honestly, like, if in, like, I don't know, season 12 of the anime, it's like the Appa Man is like, I have been the witch of envy this whole time. I have cast this return by death upon you. That'd be really fucking funny.
That'd be pretty good.
That's my new conspiracy theory.
But yeah, so Subaru wakes up and his face is just abject despair. Like, it is, after the last episode, you really, I in the Discord I referred to this as a bit of a Theon moment where you spend the first, all of the first book and most of the second book of A Song of Ice and Fire thinking, wow, this Theon guy kind of fucking sucks. I really just wanted to get what's coming to him. And then George R. R. Martin looks you dead in the eye and says, yeah?
Promise?
You promise?
You won't be able to go back on this later, remember?
You want you want what's coming to him? Well, here's what's coming to him. Lots of trauma and misery.
Subaru's name has been changed to Reek.
I don't understand this reference. I'm sorry.
It's all right. A Song of Game of Thrones. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm trying to think of a character that like experiences a similar thing and a thing that you have seen.
I have not
Morg.
seen enough things.
Yeah, just like a moment of like, I don't know, like a character that you fucking hate and you're like, oh yes, this guy's finally gonna get what's coming to him, and then it's just like way worse than any human should have to endure.
That's like kind of what makes you end up liking, like, that's what makes a good, like, a lot of times a good redemption character kind of thing is like, oh, they sucked a lot, but oh, something sucks even more that happened to them, and
something happened to make them a little more sympathetic.
Yeah.
And something that recontextualize the harm that they may have done to others.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that. That doesn't happen for Subaru yet. He will at some point realize the harm he's done to others.
It's just like funny that this is happening to the protagonist.
Yes. It's a tremendous work from
like,
Tepe.
I feel like Theon is not, I mean, I don't know. I know there's not just one protagonist in Game of Thrones, whatever. But I feel like being
there's one protagonist.
Theon is a POV. Theon is a POV from chapter 2, from book 2 onwards.
Okay. There's
There's only one protagonist, and it's John.
It's Neddard Stark.
It's Neddard Stoink.
Yep. It's really masterful how George R. R. Martin manages to tell the entire story from the point of view of a decapitated head after that first book, but man's pretty good at it.
Yeah. It becomes very like sort of avant-garde,
Yeah. Subaru is in the fucking, he is just having a really bad time, and he, like, Rem gets his attention and he gives her a huge hug and starts laughing and sobbing, and he is basically catatonic for a majority of this loop.
So dissociated. Like, my God.
Just like blank stare, arms at his side, just like not even fucking paying attention, just like,
I was like, oh, wow.
It's Eddie's Khal Drogo impression. So yeah, Subaru is like completely dissociated, and later that night, Felis, Krush, and Rem are looking over him, and they can't find a single thing wrong with him, like physically, magically, nothing weird. But the only thing they can note is that Rem thinks that he stinks a little bit more than before from the witch's miasma.
It's interesting that the witch's miasma doesn't show up as any kind of like magic, or like it doesn't show up as like
a little bit of a cloud above Subaru's head, I think, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like there's like an aura of some variety that Subaru himself can't see, and it's like it is both like there is a visual component, I think, but it's mostly referred to by smell. I just
mean like they don't clock it as like this is some kind of curse that's on him.
Yeah, because they can't tie it to anything, really. They just, he just smell... he literally does... There is visual representations of it, but it is entirely a smell thing, because, when he in the last arc, when he, shouted, oh, I can return by death, to make the to make the witch hand come out briefly and to get the dog's attention. Like, all the dogs just smelled the stink of the witch. But anyways, this is getting into semantics about things that really don't matter all that much, I don't think. That's in reference to the things I've been saying, to be clear. Not that your question was dumb. So yeah, the next morning, Rem and Subaru leave, and Subaru gives we see this. It's a much wider. It's a wide shot that closes in, but like in the wide shot, we just see Subaru do this. Like we see Subaru bowing to say goodbye, but it's like the tiniest little 5-degree bend in the waist for the bow. He's not doing good.
Rem does all of the talking. She's just like, I'm gonna try to take him to Amelia because he keeps muttering my name, Amelia's name, Ram's name, under his breath. I'm hoping that makes him snap out of whatever's happening because they're not sure still. But I don't know. Does this mean they fixed his gait enough to let him go, or are they just being like, oh, he's too fucked up, he needs to leave?
Yeah, I think this is them sending him to the seaside for his health. He's a poor Victorian woman.
So okay, because this is
a wealthy Victorian woman.
Oh, poor Transmass Subaru has a wandering womb.
Fuck.
he has hysteria.
So Cruz asks before they leave. She asks, "How can you give so much of yourself to him? He's not your servant, but you give him glances that a woman gives a man." And Rem just responds, "It's because Subaru is special." Before they leave, Felis says, "If Subaru recovers, I'll tease him to the maximum." It does little ropey fingers, which I think is
squishy hands.
Yay!
He does the gif.
Yeah, the gif. I fucking love Felis.
He's so good.
He's just a gay little boy.
So
What the fuck, gay little cat?
What the fuck, you little cat?
I want to see more.
So Subaru looks like shit. They roll out of there again with that ominous yellow sunset glow. And Rem was like, we get a little thing of Rem settling down for the night, making a little campfire, and is just talking to herself about things that are... She was happy to have him to herself. She can't do that at the mansion because he's obsessed with Amelia. I heard you fought with Amelia, and I'm sorry, but I know you'll be all right, though, because you're always demonically inspired. And that line makes me...
I was crying.
It's such a sweet little scene.
Her talking to herself and talking. She was like, "I feel bad about saying that I'm keeping you awake, but I want to have time with you, and you're not distracted." What?
This is not anything from Morg. I'm going to speak obliquely so as not to spoil anything, but bit of a parallel here for some season 2 stuff a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Morg, we'll get there. Don't worry. Don't worry. Everything is fine.
When Bertram's gone off to college, we'll have time to review season 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next morning, they're riding in their carriage, and Rem is just talking to herself about, oh, it's too quiet, and she starts she gets a fucking it looks like a very powerful psychic blast hits her, and she just doubles over and is like, fuck. Oh god, it's got a really bad signal from Ram. Oh, that's not good. And then the ground dragon that's pulling their carriage head just flies off.
Its head just does that.
I'm saluting. Salute to the ground dragon.
Poor ground dragon.
Saluting Flagon.
That poor Flygon. That poor Garchomp.
Zygarde.
Zygarde. Oh, if it was a wormy.
Oh no, Zygarde worm.
Everything tips over and is flying everywhere, and it's fucking chaos, and there's all these fucking cultists around, and we even get confirmation at this point if you didn't recognize them, because Rem's like, oh shit, the cultists are here and they're fucking with me again. And
yeah, they got the pointy hats, which
they look.
People are always up to no good.
They look like fucking Ku Klux Klan members for sure.
They do. They're
almost they're Catholics.
They're Akatsuki by way of the KKK.
Yeah.
But one of the witches cultists tries to touch Subaru, and like they just explode into a fucking pool of blood because Rem has her horn out and is going sicko mode. One of the mages fires a fire blast at her, and she like explodes her arm to cast Huma to save her.
Yeah.
And it's like her arm looks like her sleeve has like exploded off, and her arm looks like Nave. You've experienced some Yu Yu Hakusho, right?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with when Hiei uses the black dragon in the Dark Tournament and how his arm looks after that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's the point of reference that I'm pulling at. Rem with her arm fucking like blasted out. I mean, a more contemporary reference is
Rem.
A more contemporary reference is just what Deku's arm looks like after he uses One for All poorly in Hero Academia.
So I've actually been watching Tokyo Ghoul lately, and there's some stuff in there that reminds me of that imagery wise.
Have you just been like committing to the bit of making your Discord AV the Tokyo Ghoul
No,
guy?
it's the only thing Kara and I could agree on. Because she didn't like Moriarty the Patriot, and I didn't really care for a case study of Vanitas.
That's a shame. You should watch Fate.
I don't know. I don't know if she's ready for that.
Do you know if you're ready for Fate?
I don't know if I'm ready. For Fate.
I mean, like, I'm ready for anything, you know?
One of you fuckers is going to get into Fate before this year is up by my hand.
No, that's
Yeah, more like State Fey Awake, am I right?
damn so true.
I gotta read that visual novel. Is like I really want to talk into that visual novel. I mean, I'm in the middle of Higurashi and AI Somnium Files right now, and Umineko is definitely my next big project.
But you know,
man, I kind of want to stay some night. Like I already know the story of Fate Stay Night. Like I've seen the anime, and I've seen Unlimited Blade Works specifically, and I really like that story, and I want to read the visual novel. Archer, my beloved.
you want to play that Arrow Gay?
Yeah, I definitely want to read the horny ass shit in that era. The really, really the famously well written porn in that eroge.
It's weird that it started as an anime.
It's such a fun little quirk of it. I really like that it started as that, and it's just kind of like, well, this porn's not really good. This porn's not really well written, but the story is great. So you know what? We'll run with this.
It's spun out from a meet and fuck game.
Right.
It's like, you know what? These sex scenes aren't really doing it for me.
It's like if you found out, like, I don't know, like Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning was like originally like from Meat and Fuck Kingdom.
Man, I think more games should spin off from horny games.
This is true. They should make a game based on I'm racking my brain for a horny thing. For like a horny game.
I can't think of horny
Sim
games
girls.
either. I'm too pure. I'm too celibate.
That's true. That's very true.
The deep lore of the Honey Pop anime.
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
Yes. Thank you, Nee, for coming through in the clutch.
Listen.
So one of the witch cultists takes Subaru and runs, and Rem grabs her mace with her burnt hand, and you guys took my sister's home, you took my reason to live, is that not enough? Now you steal my reason to die too? Which is, I wanted to get y'all's take on this line. I don't know what this is.
What is, first of all, when she talks about her reason to live, is she just talking about...
I think that might be an oblique. I think that like the huge powerful psychic blast that she got. I think that was like Ram
Gotcha,
dying.
okay. I wasn't sure.
And
Reason to die being Subaru, and it's like, okay.
Right, I get that.
Why?
But why is
Yeah,
that her reason
yeah.
to die?
I
I'm
think,
a little
like, it's her... My guess is that it's her imagining herself, like, dying in his service, or, like, dying to save him.
Yeah, being his Lionheart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know if she's just like putting too much of herself into this and just being like, well, he's not here right now anyway, so I'm just gonna say whatever. Obviously, like, that's not how shows work, and we hear this line for a reason, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know how much we're supposed to take out of that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I was just kind of struggling with that line. I knew that she was referring to Subaru. I was not understanding in what capacity, but that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. So there's like a fucking nuke that goes off at the epicenter of where Rem is, and then we just like cut to Subaru waking up to a stalagmite, dripping water from the ceiling onto him, and he wakes up to that. And can I tell you the extremely stupid way that I remember stalagmite, stalactite differences?
That they're mighty.
I think you've told me
on the
this before,
ground.
but tell it again.
And they hang
No,
tight
it's way dumber.
to the ceiling. They hang tight to the
It's
ceiling.
way dumber than this. The way that I remember it is that in one of the Dilbert books, what's the word for what's the word for like a comic strip book,
one of the collections?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Dilbert collection where the Calvin and Hobbes 10th anniversary collection has like annotations typed up by Bill Watterson.
Yeah.
This was a Dilbert book where like Scott Albums had written in the margins.
Scott Albums.
Yeah, Scott Albums wrote in the margins, and one of the things that he wrote in just like off to the side of a comic that just like mentions stalactites or stalagmites, one of the two. He writes stalagmites might hang from the ceiling, but they don't.
Stalagmites,
and that is how I think about it every fucking time.
So stalagmites might hang from the ceiling, and stalactites they vote for Trump because they're smart. I hate women, and I'm going to make a burrito that makes you shit your guts out.
I'm going to hypnotize you to make you horny.
Oh, Scott. So Subaru wakes up to a very regular guy.
He's so regular.
Oh, God, it's evil coconut head kid from Ned's Declassified.
Oh no! Coconut has really gone downhill.
Listen, ooh. He did not get he did not get the Declassified school survival guide.
No.
His was very heavily redacted.
Yeah, he became the Joker.
Yeah, the only things in his book were like, go to class, do your homework on time.
I wish I had more material to like contribute, given like the amount of Ned's Declassified
Yeah, same.
I watched as a kid.
Coconut had not exactly.
You know,
this also okay. This also
Coconut had a prime example of like the red letter media thing of like describe a character without saying their name or what they do.
Yeah.
Describe a character without describing their haircut.
Can't.
Oh, Coconut Head's Fruit Salad Island.
God. Oh
Yes!
my God.
Yes, Peter!
I'm not the only one who remembers that.
Wait, that show was like not just a fever dream I came up with.
Oh God.
How could you possibly forget Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island with his fucking swim trunks?
Why do you remember all these
It is
details?
not a SpongeBob ripoff. Do not ever insinuate that.
Listen. Detail 1 that I know about Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island. There's a guy named Coconut Fred. Detail 2, he has a coconut. Detail 3, he wears orange swim trunks. Detail 4, I got fucking nothing. I could not tell you. If you put a gun to my head right now, I could not tell you a fucking thing about that show otherwise.
I remember
I didn't remember shorts either.
I don't have vivid memories, but I definitely know that there were like Saturday mornings where like when Coconut Fred came on, I would switch over to like Cartoon Network until like Lunatics Unleashed came on.
Let's go.
I loved Coconut Fred's. I'm pretty sure was Coconut Fred voiced by Tom Kenny? No, that
Rob
was
Paulson.
Rob Paulson. Okay, Jimmy Neutron. Nope, Carl Weezer.
Yeah, he voices basically everyone.
So true.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of these characters, such as Slip and Slide DePeel.
Let's look at that TV tropes page.
Bingo Cherry.
You know,
Mr. Mel Greenrind.
Hey, is this the Coconut Fred
TV tropes?
Is this the Coconut Fred cast or the Lunatics Unleashed cast?
Waka Waka. I also like Lunatics Unleashed.
The dits, Slip and Slide, are not particularly bright, effectively making them the Patrick Star blue text of the show.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you from the sharp tools at TV Tropes.
TV Tropes.
Parody episode. The Sir Nut-A-Lot episode was primarily a parody of Final Fantasy VII, with Coconut Fred serving as Cloud and Butchie playing the Sephiroth XP. But then you had Slip and Slide dressed like the Super Mario Brothers, and Bingo being the obligatory help character, Navi in this case. The end of the episode is a parody of Donkey Kong. No, you made that shit up. No, you just wanted something to include on this page.
This show lasted 13 episodes.
Christ alive.
Rob Paulson, who voiced the main character Coconut Fred, states that he does not like to remember voicing the character and explained that it was nothing more than a shameless SpongeBob SquarePants ripoff.
I'm sick of this bit. Let's talk about the episode.
Yeah, we're not talking about Coconut Fred. We're talking about coconut pedal juices.
We're talking about Coconut Head, pedal
Fruit
juice.
Salad Cave.
Yes. Coconut. Yeah, fruit salad case. No, sorry,
What?
I got nothing. Fruit basket case.
Sure.
He asks Betelgeuse asks Subaru if he has the time to listen to him whine about anything at all.
Oh, I thought you were going to
Salad.
take that in like a fruits
Yummy,
basket like
yummy.
direction.
No, that would be
Salad.
pretty good. No, I'm just
Yummy.
Do you think it means anything that we're trying so desperately to avoid talking about what happens next?
no only good things. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
true, that's true.
just only good things happen here. I fucking like it's hard to get through, but the scene.
It's hard to get
scene's
through.
So fucking good.
That's the problem. It's hard to get through, and we should start getting through it because
It is.
So-
it is important.
Subaru comes to his consciousness like he's in the fucking cart from Skyrim.
You're
Betelgeuse
finally awake.
Yeah, you're finally awake. Oh, I'm gonna take a big bite of my finger. He introduces himself and he says, "I am Betelgeuse Romani Conti Des." Which I wanted to ask Neve, how does that because he
They
he
don't
will,
really
sometimes-
translate the death stuff, but like the acting done for Beetlejuice in they don't even say Beetlejuice in the dub. They call him Betelgeuse. But like
Betelgeuse, yeah.
his dub actor is really really good. Like he's hamming it up in like exactly the right way. So like it's like goofy but like still like in a scary way.
Yeah, Betelgeuse is such a fucking delightful fucker.
They legitimately made the Joker scary.
Yeah, he is scary.
And he's the Joker.
He is the fucking Joker. He's green.
He's green.
So
He says, "You want to know how I got these scars?"
He's got purple.
He's got purple.
Anyways, go on, Morg. Sorry, we interrupted you like 12 times there.
I was just saying he made me laugh, but I was like uncomfortable. I was like laughing like I don't know how to take this guy, and I don't think he's funny, but I also kind of do. It's delightful in a very uncomfortable way. That's how I would describe my
He is genuinely an extremely fun villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Betelgeuse. He's a sicko.
Like there's something like that feels sincere about his mania.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, he's
I
not
mean,
just-
and that kind of like that also feels like assonant with the rest of the narrative that he's going on, like the
Yeah.
sincerity of he's like talking about the insincerity of Subaru's
Yes.
madness.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a second because there's a handful of other things. But it's Betelgeuse Romani Conti, the Archbishop representing
This
sloth.
MF's name is
His
Cunty?
brain trembles.
And he's
Cunty.
Yeah. I sure thought it was cunty when sloths took like 5 million episodes to go like, "Ugh, what a pain," and just like, yeah.
All right, I will grit my teeth and not address the sloth slander happening in front of me.
He's not a good character.
Are you
I
talking
don't need him
are
to
you
be a
talking
good
about
character.
Full Alchemist?
Yes.
Yes, I am. He is easily the least developed of the 7 deadly sins. He is still very fun for being as
Sloth is way
two-dimensional
cooler
as he is.
in 03.
Yeah, okay, I'm sure he is.
Hey, he's a she in 03.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking it's Trisha Elric. I know this.
Yeah, it's cool, and we love it.
That is cool.
The official
I
stance
also-
of this podcast is pro 03. I'm declaring it now.
I've only seen like
Well, Martell is there. Martell is there more.
Martell is there
more
for
Martell.
more time, yes.
I've only seen like most of 03. I have not seen that much of Brotherhood. I'm gonna be honest.
That's better than Brotherhood.
I
Siri,
feel like
end
a lot of
conversation.
people disagree with you.
if O3 has no if O3 has no defenders, then I am no longer on this earth.
So yeah, Betelgeuse dispatches the witch cultists to clean up the area where they just were, because the day of the ordeal, capital O, is upon them, and they cannot allow their existence to be discovered. He asks one of the cultists if Rem is alive or dead, and when the cultist is like, "Oh, I don't know, boss," he's like, "Oh, you are truly slothful. Allow me to beat you to death for that." Because he let a loose end happen, which is not sure if Rem is alive or not. But Betelgeuse is like, "Oh, we must repay love with love. Bring the girl. If she is alive, then kill her. If not, bring me her head." Betelgeuse is just confronting the still catatonic Subaru, and he's like, "Oh, why are you so full of love? Do you not have a gospel?" And he pulls a little book out of his coat. And there's a lot of things that are flying over your head right now, Morgan, I'm sure, but these are meant to fly over your head right now. They'll be explained in a couple episodes.
I assume that's some kind of gospel for the witch cult, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit more complex than that, but like in barest terms, yeah, more or less. Subaru just doesn't fucking say anything, and Betelgeuse does not take very kindly to being ignored. He licks his eyeball and then says, "Why do you pretend that your mind has broken?" And Subaru just, like, tries to avoid eye contact.
He's still, like, he's very out of it. Like, he does not...
Yeah, he's very clearly, like, still just, like, he's completely like, we get this scene is fucking heartbreaking. It's just, Subaru's having, like, a completely non-verbal breakdown. He's, like, sobbing, but all he can get out of is just, like, and nothing else beyond those noises.
Yeah, I was like, they're doing a pretty, like, decent job of, like, showing what someone dissociating can act. Obviously, like, people are different, but I was like, yeah. I feel this. But, like, obviously not to this extent, but, like, it's very, like, it, like, takes him time to, like, snap out of it, and it, like, takes a lot of, like, bullshit happening for him to, like, not be in that state of mind. But it's just, like, really heartbreaking to see him breaking down in front of this complete and utter sicko. Like,
yeah,
like,
I've said this before, and I said it to Morgan right before we started recording, but this is fully the eclipse moment of the series thus far. If you've seen or read Berserk.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that does make sense, given that the Volturi do feature pretty heavily from this point onwards.
I mean, I was confused too. I also was like, "Is this a Twilight thing? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, Michael Sheen is there. Dakota Fanning is there. You know, she throws the baby into the fire, like in that gift that I always thought was from Game of Thrones.
All-time gif. But yeah, so Super is just having a fucking complete non-verbal breakdown, and Betelgeuse is like, "Oh, I pity you. You are so fail, but despite all that, you are so loved. We would rather waste away in stagnation than repay the goodwill that has been given to you. You are truly slothful." And then Rem walks in, fucking alive, ready to beat ass. She, like, throws a dead witch cultist
so
into the
cool.
room.
I'm sorry.
She's cool. She's really cool.
Betelgeuse is like, "Oh, this is so epic," and Rem is like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you."
She's kind of epic with it.
Yeah. There's one scene that really sticks out to me, which is that, like, Rem fucking punches through a guy at one point, and then, like, with her arm in through a guy out the other side of him, casts Alhuma to explode two other guys. Again, her arm through a dude. It's fucking sick.
Kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Rem. But in the middle of this, Rem catches Subaru's glance and smiles at him, at which point Betelgeuse says, "My brain trembles," and some invisible force called Unseen Hand lifts Rem up.
Yeah,
and
it felt a little bit like a callback to the fight with the dogs, right? Like a little bit. It's just like that brief moment where, like, the spell breaks and, like, Rem just sort of, like, noses Subaru and
oh yeah,
a little bit, yeah.
She's
totally,
like not
totally.
in, like, demon brain mode. She's like, he's here, and I'm glad I'm helping, and I'm not gonna, I'm gonna go sicko to save him, and not for any other reason. Yeah.
Yep, but unfortunately, unseen hand crucifies her in the air, and Betelgeuse basically makes Subaru look. Yeah. And Rem's still alive. Rem is like battered, but still very much alive. And Betelgeuse is like, "Oh, by doing nothing, you practice sloth. Because of that, this girl is dead. How awful!" And like, I don't know. This might be just me being amused by something small, but like referring to someone who is very clearly alive as a corpse is just very like it's effective to me. It's a little bit chilling.
Yeah.
And at which point, all of Rem's body parts start twisting around.
Yeah, he's very purposely trying to kill her.
I've seen my fair share. Yeah, I've seen my fair share of anime gore in my life, and watching this for the second time still made me like a little. Ugh. It wasn't good. It wasn't good to look at. She gets put into an invisible version of the rack from Saw 3. Yeah. I think the rack is in. Neve, have you seen the Saw movies? Can you verify that for me? I don't know. I've only seen the Saw 3D.
Oh God.
That's such a funny Saw to have only seen, because that was also the first Saw that I watched.
I remember it's the one where they're like in the David Copperfield cage at the beginning, and like they.
Yeah, that's Saw. To be clear, that is Saw 7. Just so you know.
Yeah, I did have to resolve this confusion when I first watched it, finding out it wasn't the third Saw.
Yeah. But yeah, Subaru is like kind of broken out of his catatonic state and is just fucking screaming at Betelgeuse like, I'll kill you, and like he's like chained to the wall, and he is just like he is trying so hard to escape his restraints, and is just like, I thought every time I watch this scene, I think that
hands covered in blood from like his wrists being chafed.
Right. There's genuinely there's a shot in this scene that every single time I see it, I think, oh, that's right, Subaru like dislocates his shoulder doing this, and he doesn't. But every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, he did dislocate his shoulder, but he doesn't. Yeah, but it looks like he's going to.
That's the power of imagery.
You know what I thought was going to happen? I thought he was going to like kill himself by like ripping his arms off or something crazy. I was like, God. Is he going to die like this? I wonder if,
like, yeah.
But Betelgeuse is just like, well, girl's dead. This place is a fucking dump now. I guess I'm just gonna leave it.
We're late for our meeting with the other fingers.
Yeah, he's like issuing commands to the cultists while Subaru is thrashing, and Betelgeuse like turns to Subaru and is like, to be honest, I don't know what your deal in all of this is. I'll just leave it up to God. Deuces.
Oh, okay, wait. At some point, he like asks
hags.
He asks Subaru before all this happens. Like he just captured Subaru. He's like, "Are you Pride?"
Oh yeah, are you Pride? And he's not.
And I'm like, who's that? And does he look like Subaru? I mean, obviously there's gonna be a bunch of fucking...
Have we met the Archbishop of Pride, Neve? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Well, no, we meet two archbishops at the start of season 2, right?
Oh, you meant like further on? Yeah.
No, I know, not yet. I'm talking about characters that we not met yet, because like one of them is Pride, right?
I think so. The finer details of like the actual plot of season 2 is like still a little bit foggy for me.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a completely different guy. There's a different. I don't know who I'm thinking of. Anyways,
doesn't matter. I just thought it was. I don't know. I mean, it's
the sin archbishop. To be clear, I mean, I'm not using the proper title. The sin archbishop.
Right.
Yeah.
But. So, yeah, Betelgeuse doesn't know what his deal is, and Subaru's just fucking sobbing. Like, his eye is, like, full of blood. It's not looking good. And he is, like, Betelgeuse, like, lets Rem go, and we get, like, this awful, like, isometric-ish shot of her just, like, ragdolling to the floor, limply.
There's really no other word for it. She's just, like, a sack of meat just falling on the ground. It's upsetting.
It's upsetting. She looks extremely dead. Like,
yeah.
To me.
So Rem doesn't die immediately from this.
No.
She like crawls towards Subaru, and I like the moment that this provides. I dislike the extremity with which Rem is dealt with, and then does not die there, but then manages to bleed out later. I just like.
Well,
Yes, Rem has regenerative powers, but if she has enough regenerative powers to survive that to crawl to Subaru, I don't know. I don't know. This is me picking the smallest of nits over a scene I fucking love.
I thought it was kind
otherwise.
of implied that like she used her like dying breath to like free
Yeah,
him.
that's what I got out of it. Like,
okay,
it didn't,
yeah, that makes sense.
It didn't click as anything weird because I figured like she only had enough energy to like free him, like not to like regenerate or do anything like that. She only had enough.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's why it didn't bother me at all. It was just
Speaking of which,
okay,
like
I'll work with that. That works.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the shot of her like crawling towards him using just like her shoulders.
Yeah.
It's like hard to watch.
It feels bad. It feels bad, man.
And like Subaru stretches out as far as he can, like still like locked up, and like she
and like grabs her with her grabs her dress with his teeth.
And he like pulls her forward with his teeth, and yeah, she just like I don't know. It's upsetting because she's like alive enough to free him and like tell him that she loves him
and that he should keep on living for her.
And that he should keep on living for her. That's it.
Yeah. We cut to some amount of time later, which is it's like sunset, I think. Subaru exits the cave and he has Rem's corpse in his arms and he sets out for Roswell Manor, and it's a long road, and she is heavy, but he will do the damn thing. Yeah. And as he approaches, there is like snowfall all over Lugnica, and like everyone in the town is dead. Again, it just kind of is brushed past. There's a pile of corpses in the middle of the plaza, like that big pile of snow that exists in like a plaza in in the waning months of winter after the shoveling has been done.
Yeah.
He gets to the Roswell Manor, and it's just completely covered in snow, and Subaru stops dead in his tracks, and he sees Ram's corpse in a different place this time. It's on the outside of the Roswell Manor, surrounded by dead witch cultists, and he starts fucking sobbing, but then a big kitty pops up from the manor, says, "Sleep along with my daughter," and Subaru just like flash freezes, and we get this incredible shot of like, I don't know, maybe like 5 feet behind Subaru, him just like standing there with Rem in his hands. His head just falls off. The manor is there. We see like giant Puck in the background, and his head just falls off as snow is like blistering down on him. And the credits just start rolling over this as like more and more snow builds up on Subaru's corpse.
It's easily my first time watching this was my biggest like holy shit moment.
Yep.
To that point.
Yep.
Yeah, I literally had message in the Discord. I was like, me rocking back and forth. His head just did that. His head just did that.
His head just did that.
It did.
They really just made his head do that, huh? And you know what? While the credits roll, technically, the show does not end with the credits. The episode has a few minutes left.
Yep. Just a little stinger at the end to make sure that you know that everything's fine. Subaru wakes back up at the Appa stand, has just returned his free sloppy, and he is like immediately intensely distraught as soon as he sees Rem, but he takes her by the hand and they walk away, and she says, "Oh, you smell like the witch, even worse now. Weird." And she also says, "If you're worried, just hold my hand. This is nicer."
Yeah.
Subaru smiles, but then the camera like cuts to him. His eyes close up, and it just turns into a frown, a glare of hatred.
He's so angry.
And we get our title card, "The Outside of
This
Madness."
motherfucker gonna fucking kill Beetlejuice or whatever. Beetlejuice. He's got fucking... I was like, oh no. I guess he does have scary eyes, huh?
Yeah.
But...
So how did we like these episodes? This episode?
Well, if I may speak first, like, I already, like, touched on this a little bit, but I think, like, watching the first time when you were showing it to me, when I believe I was still at home because my roommates had COVID at the time, but I had a definite moment of, like, going from, like, thinking this show is good to thinking, like, oh, this show might be great, actually.
Yeah, this like I think like this is part 2 of it's a 1-2 punch, because the self-proclaimed knight is the first hit, and then Subaru's head just falling off is the second.
Yeah.
It's great.
What do you think?
Morgan,
Yeah, sorry, I'm just like trying to gather my thoughts. Yeah, I mean, it definitely hit me. I was kind of freaking out like right after the fact. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to, because I was recording Digimon Ghost Gaze right after finishing the episode, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna go into this normally. Whatever, it's fine. So, like, it very much affected me in the sense of like, wow, like, even though I was joking about, like, oh, his head just did that. It literally, that's all I could think of, because it's like, oh, he, like, froze solid from what I realize now is a giant puck. I was confused. Now I'm just fucking, like, holy shit about the fact that a giant puck, like, had done all this. And just, like, the fact that it's, like you say, like, back to normal at the end or whatever, it's like, okay, but what is he gonna do now? And, like, I'm invested. And, like, I've been invested in where I've been like, okay, well, what is he gonna do? But I was, like, pissed off at him, right? Like, I was like, this guy sucks. And he's, like, kind of blowing through all his,
goodwill.
Good grace. That's not the word I'm looking for.
His good graces.
Yeah, I guess that is. His good graces, his good, like, I was like, he's blowing through all this, like, good feeling I'm feeling for him.
Yeah. His goodwill.
Yes. His goodwill, thank you. That's... And then, like, all this happened, and I'm like, I think I'm... I think... I'm tentatively like, this show's pretty good. Like, this show is really good, actually, but...
Many are saying.
But I'm also, like... It could turn still. And not in, like, I think this show is good, but I'm also still, like, worried about what effect that had on Super. And I think that makes it probably mean it's a better show, because it means I want to watch how he's coping more. And it's like, yeah, I don't know.
I'm just gonna say this is something that will mean nothing to you and mean a lot to Neve. From Zero does not happen until the episode after the next one.
Yes.
And I don't know what I don't know what that means.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's my second favorite episode of the entire show. Third favorite episode of the entire show.
I think it's probably my
second,
favorite.
Third. I mean, yeah, it's that, Parent and Child, or The Greatest Night and the Self-Proclaimed Night.
Like, move over, BoJack Horseman. There's a new TV show that's about people talking through their issues.
God, I cannot wait. We're talking about From Zero is going to be so much fun, and by which I mean I'm going to fucking have a nightmare taking notes on that one.
Well, Sam's going to be here for it.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Sam.
Yeah.
Just make Sam take all the notes.
Yeah.
I hope he hears this before then, and we're just like,
oh, he will. All right. So we got two questions. Well, we got a question and a comment. Question from, speaking of Sam, question quote unquote from Sam. If you want to ask a question at FWDREZERO. Sam says, "Have quote fun," end quote.
We sure did.
Had a great time, Sam.
We learned a
this
lot.
Question from Andy. This question from Andy in the Discord: what voice actor do you want to have play a role where they get crazy with it?
Jaleel White.
That's a great answer.
That'd be pretty good.
Oh no, I don't know if I can top that.
I genuinely like running through my head of like voice actors that I know and like. I mean, I'm sure Tara Strong in her like fucking oeuvre of work has gone crazy with it at some point or another. Mm-hmm. But there's only so many voices that she can do, and a couple of them just like live in the Twilight Sparkle wheelhouse. I just want to hear a role where she just does like a Twilight Sparkle-esque voice and goes nutty with it. Like if you watch the TV show Loki, like the little like time logo thing that she plays is she's doing Twilight Sparkle voice for that.
Miss Minutes as the T-shirts I have to
Miss
stock
Minutes,
at work.
thank you.
Tell me.
Yes. Love Miss Minutes. The one good thing about that show.
Yeah, it kind of seems like every Marvel show, like people are saying, like in the first 2 episodes, people are like, "Oh, this one's finally good," and then like
Guy who thought it's the fucking Declan the Jetaliker tweet that's like, guy who thought Spider-Man Homecoming was good voice. This has potential if done correctly.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a better answer than Jaleel White.
You can just pick a celebrity because that's all that voice actors are now.
Yeah. I almost said Matthew Lillard, but then my convictions about voice acting being an actual profession made me not.
He does voice Shaggy like full time now, right?
Yeah, but like that, he started as Scooby-Doo 2002 movie, right?
Yeah.
That was his first Shaggy role.
I believe so.
Because
yeah.
it was what was that motherfucker's
Casey Kasem?
Casey Kasem. I almost said Casey Jones, like the fucking.
These guys are from England, and who gives a shit of fame if you're a negative landhead?
I was thinking more in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles vein.
Oh,
or Grateful Dead, depending on one or the other.
Those two very similar groups.
Well, teenage. There's a guy, the guy with the hockey mask in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is called Casey Jones.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
And also Casey Jones, the Grateful Dead song.
Oh, I thought I was imagining like a Ninja Turtles like jam band that like
No.
a bunch of people in their mid-60s go to see in concert and clog up all the traffic near where I live.
Listen, I have varying degrees of respect for jam bands. Casey Jones as a song does kind of go.
I have no respect for jam bands. Like write that shit down.
Do you like Casey Jones? Do you like the song Casey Jones though?
I don't really know it.
Oh, he's driving that train and he's out of cocaine.
It's that one. Yeah.
Casey Jones, you better watch your speed.
Like I do remember hearing that one on the radio as a child and being like, are they allowed to put this on like daytime radio where children?
Right? Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I just the last time I drove down to when I'm driving or doing shit on my own, I will just sing like songs that don't deserve it in like my best impression of like an opera like baritone bass. Like I'll be fucking singing like front bottoms twin size mattress in that register. But the last time I was going down there, I was just like driving that train out of cocaine.
Pavarotti voice. You were my peach, you were my plum.
Casey Jones, you better watch your speed. I can't sing very well, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
You'd have to agree with me saying I don't sing very well.
What? Oh, no. Sorry.
I'm kidding.
I was on autopilot a little bit. I was just
Sarah
like,
used to be in
I'm
chorus.
done thinking about the Grateful Dead.
We're on
Sarah
hour
used to
2.
be in
Yeah, I'm sorry, babe.
chorus, so she could sing at some point.
Yeah, I was not in select though, like you were.
Not everyone was.
That's it for questions. That's gonna be it.
Okay. Yes.
Anything else before we do plugs? Get out of here.
Not for me.
You sound tired.
I am tired. I have a Pokemon battle after this.
Oh,
Damn.
I'm saluting you so hard. Let's get you out of here. So we are at FWDREZERO on Twitter, /ReZero. You can follow us there. We have a link to our Discord server there, I believe. If it doesn't work or whatever, just hit me up on Twitter or Discord or whatever. Thank you to Matt GameCube and for creating Noisepace.xyz, the place where this and so many other great podcasts are so graciously hosted. Thank you to personal close friend of the show, Gerard Way, for letting us use My Chemical Romance's Dead for the intro and outro of this podcast. Thank you to friend of the pod, Ogi. Agnan did a phenomenal cover art job for this podcast. Check them out on Twitter at KalolaFairArt.
It's good.
I'm on Twitter at Sunhatzhenya, SUNHATZHENYA. My current podcasts are this one, Fear Baiting, the horror movie podcast, which is not currently doing anything, but hopefully by the time this episode comes out, I will have gotten back up and running. And Wow Cool Robot, which by the time this episode comes out, I will be nearing the end of my stint on that podcast, which I'm very sad to say. I'm going to miss doing that. And also, Sam and I might have a little something in the works. We're cooking up. It's a little bit of a secret project.
I don't know
but
I did not
this.
know about this. I'm looking forward to finding out what this is.
Sam and I have just been loosely talking about it, and I think once my time on Wow Cool Robot reaches its end, and once I've gotten Fear Baited back in the swing of things, Sarah might be part of a little limited run
I might ask
podcast.
you.
Ooh.
Mildly. mildly inspired by tangents gone on this podcast in the past.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think Morg knows what this is now.
I don't know what this is.
I might.
But
Is it Fate?
I'll... What's that, Neve?
Is it Fate?
No, it's not.
No, it's not Fate.
Okay.
It's
We haven't talked enough about Fate.
No. But anyways, look forward to that. Yeah, that's and I do a couple other podcasts. Those are in my bio on my Twitter at sunhatgenya. I think that's everything for me. Neve, hit it.
I'm at Nick Wolf on Twitter. I'm working on stuff. I'm going to be moving in like a couple months, hopefully. So
Hell yeah, baby! I'm also going to be moving in a couple of months. Where are you moving to?
I don't know. You say where you're moving to, and then I'll just copy you.
Okay, let's go on 3. 1, 2.
It's
Norway.
We're moving in together, hopefully.
Yay.
they're just gonna say
We
their
did it.
address on podcasts.
Yeah, we're just gonna. All of our episodes are gonna be live in
Oh
person.
yeah, because I
Now.
live in the same place as Sarah.
Yep, we're all gonna be in the same place, and that will definitely be logistically doable every
Yeah,
fucking week.
for sure, definitely.
Morg, hit your shit.
I will hit my shit. My Twitter is at Haunting the Morgue. That's Haunting the MORG. You can also find me on my other podcasts. I've pretty much announced on my other 2 podcasts that Departure Lounge is like kind of over because all the co-hosts are doing different things at the moment, and I might try to put out like the episodes I have in the bank, but otherwise it's
Yeah, it's because
It's over.
Togashi isn't making any freaking more Hunter x Hunter.
He's on Twitter now, though.
Oh, that's good for him.
No, but we were talking about
I-
the
I-
anime, which is very much done and has an ending, but we did not.
Also, no one get my ass for saying Hunter x Hunter. I don't
That's
give a
what I
shit.
say on the show on purpose to make my co-hosts not actually mad, but like mad in scare
Hunter x
quotes.
Hunter.
In scare quotes, mad.
Yeah.
My active podcasts, though, are the Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast, and Digimon Ghost Gaze, a Digimon Ghost game podcast that I just recorded before this one. I've done too many podcasts today.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
All right. So that's going to do it for this episode of Forward ReZero. Until next time, send from my iPhone.
Sent
Send from my iPhone.